Yo, what up? Welcome to another episode of Source and Company. I'm your host, Source, of course. As always, you can follow me on Instagram and Twitter at Smith. hold up. I forgot to change the name at Source, of course, on Instagram at Source, of course. And I still haven't changed the name on Twitter. I really don't. I'm really not on Twitter like talking about. But anyway, I'll get to it. Still at Smitty Source on Twitter. Follow the show on YouTube, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, etc. All right. Okay, let's get into it. Today's company is the youth pastor at Hill City Church in Richmond, Virginia, Hill City RVA. He is also a rapper. He's a rapidy rapper. So we're going to get into a little bit of that. And he is part of, I got to read it, part of the RVA Music Collective, which is a group headed by the Gospel Industry Networks. So we'll talk about that a little bit as well. And he is the creator, founder, originator of Domination, which is the largest Christian hip hop concert series in Virginia. Today's company.
That's right.
Goss.
What's up? How y'all living out there up in Zoom world, up in podcast land? What's up, Mike? You good?
Yes, sir. I'm great. How are you feeling?
Bro, I'm good, man. It was a good 75-degree day today. The humidity kind of, dropped off. So I was walking outside with long sleeve shirts, feeling good.
With the long sleeve shirt outside. Okay. I ain't mad at you. I'm waiting for this fall weather to get here because, it's almost football season. It really is football season for real. And that's my favorite time of the year.
100%.
So let's get into it. First of all, let's start with, how'd you end up in Richmond?
Bro, so didn't even want to come to Richmond, didn't want to come to the 804 at all. But so I'm from the 757 area, Hampton Roads, Virginia Beach, Norfolk, Portsmouth, all those cities down there. And I came to, first I came to Petersburg. I came here for school. Okay. So I went to Virginia State, graduated from VSU, and just felt like, hey, I want to definitely get out of Petersburg, but I don't want to go back home. So it's like, all right, Richmond looks like it's kind of cool. So I moved to Richmond and been here for about 11 years now.
11 years? Man, you a little older than I thought you were, bro.
I'm old, man. I'm old.
I still had you pegged at like 29. Okay.
Right. I wish.
Me too. True. Oh, man. So you are the youth pastor at Hill City. How did we end up? You know what? We'll get to that in a minute. Let's take it all the way back. Let's take it back to the 757. I think you're the third guest in a row that is from the 757. Kelly Lemon, Christopher Nally, both from the 75, and you.
Word.
Growing up in the 757, how was that? You have a brother, right?
I got two brothers.
Two brothers, okay.
Yeah. So growing up, man, Virginia Beach was it was cool, man. I liked it. You had the beach right there, so whenever you want to go to the beach, that was like the spot to go to on the weekends. And then DC wasn't far away either, so you can go to DC. You know what I'm saying? If you wanted to go do the touristy stuff up. And then you had basically, it was like there was always something to do because you had literally 7 cities wrapped up in this one big area. Now, the joke is that people from Hampton and Newport News never came across the water to come mess with us in Virginia Beach, Chesapeake, things like that. But we would always, go up there. So yeah, man, it was a good time, man. Just depending on what city you lived in. I've lived in like 3 of them. So I lived in Chesapeake, Virginia Beach, as well as Suffolk. And it was just cool, man. Like I really enjoyed it. I thought I was gonna be there forever.
Man, you mentioned Suffolk. Another former guest, Dr. John Gordon, is the Suffolk, superintendent of schools now. So
word.
Always a connection when you're in VA, for real.
Always.
So you said you went to VSU. Wait, let's back up 1 second. You didn't go to public school?
Nah, I went to private school my whole life. Yeah, crazy, right?
Okay, explain. Like, I mean, not that it's taboo or super rare that black people in private school. But I
Right.
mean, it's kind of different than black people in private school, you know.
Yo, so get this. Not only did I go to private school my whole life, but my high school private school was an all black private school because it was,
Word?
yeah, because it was my church's school. So my church is all black. So I grew up black everything. Like I grew up all black church, went to an all black private school. Then I go to college, go to an HBCU. So that's how that happened as far as the all black private school. But before that, when I was in middle school and elementary school, I changed grades every year because my mom just kept finding different schools that she thought she liked. So I had to change grades like every single year between middle school going to high school. But yeah, those were definitely predominantly white. The private schools I went to in middle school, but then my church started a school, and my mom was like, "Yeah, we definitely want you to go here." And then I was the first graduating class from my church's school.
Wow, that's
Yeah, so I
dope.
was dope.
So my wife told me, I, you know, I ain't saying it's true. I'm not saying it's false. So I'm gonna ask you, were you a runner?
A runner, I was not a runner. Like not like officially on the track team. I wasn't a runner
Uh,
like that, but I could run though. You know what I'm saying? Like I could race people and beat like some of them. You know what I mean? Now I definitely did not beat your daughter. She smoked me, but I was definitely running out here. In these high school and middle school streets, just playing for fun, but nothing official. Like I wasn't on no
okay.
team or nothing.
All right. So I'm glad we cleared that up because my wife had me believe one thing. I was like, I don't know. We're gonna have to figure that out. But anyway, so you made your way up to Richmond, and how did we end up at Hill City? Period.
Yeah,
Like
man.
period.
Yeah, for sure. So was in Virginia State, graduated, wanted to pursue my music, but also felt like I wanted to pursue ministry as well too. And because like I said before, everything I did was very, very black, which is nothing wrong with that. It's great. I love it. Right. But I knew that in order for me to have maximum impact, I would have to be more well rounded.
Yeah.
So I intentionally tried to find a church that was multicultural, which is AKA white, right? And try to find a church that was like just different from my experiences. You know what I mean? So I started off at this Presbyterian church in Midlothian. Was there for like a year and a half, and then that didn't work out. And then my man Travis, he's a pastor at a church in Chesterfield. He was like, "Hey man, there's this new church called Hill City. I think you would really fit well there." So he hooks me up with John, and we originally link up just on the strength of them trying to find a worship leader, because Travis knew that I knew a lot of worship leaders from the 757 area. So me and John go to lunch, and we have just a conversation about what he's looking for when it comes to worship and his style of music he's trying to do and things like that. And I was like, "Oh yeah, I know plenty of black people," because he wanted a black worship leader. So I said, "Yeah, I know plenty of black people that could, definitely do what you want them to do and work in this space." So one thing leads to another. I hook them up with a few people, and they bring him on staff at Hill City. And then in our last meeting, Travis texted him just to see how everything went between us and things like that. And Travis was like, or John was like, "Hey man, Corey's great. I wish he'd be on staff with us as a youth pastor." So then I was like, so then Travis showed me the text message, and I was already about to getting pushed out at my other job, at the other job at my Presbyterian church I was working at. So I was like, "Yo, tell him what's up. Tell him to say the word. I'm there. Let's go. We can make this happen tomorrow." So that's how I got to Hill City. You know what I'm saying? Just by knowing the right people and really God's timing too. Like it was definitely perfect timing.
That's dope, though. That's dope. You mentioned you said John. That's Pastor John Wagler. For
Yeah,
those who
yeah.
don't know, you said he was he specifically looking for like, I mean, if it's inside information, don't want to go too far, but was he
Nah,
specifically looking
yo,
for a rapper?
listen. I'm gonna tell you, like, yo, now that I've been in ministry, I probably shouldn't be saying this. I'm gonna say it anyway. Now that I've been in ministry for a minute, like, yo, these multicultural churches, there's this big wave about how can we get more black people in our church, right? And with that, typically, I mean, come on, it's us. Like we do music. That's what we do. Like,
Right.
you feel me? So it's not just John. It's like all these predominantly white churches. It's not uncommon for you to see a black worship leader there, and that's because they want that. Say, they want that gospel feel, or they want you. They want to say, like it's a very good reason, but they're saying, hey, like we want to give that. We want to make people feel comfortable of all ethnicities at our church and show them that you can have something here as well that that you can get with. You know what I'm saying? So I feel like at Hill City we sing everything. We sing
Mhm.
CCM, we sing gospel, and it's just a little different. But I think that's good because that's what Black people do. We bring the sauce to everything.
Absolutely, absolutely. It's funny. I laugh because I had mentioned to a good friend of mine that we were going to Hill City, and she was like, "Yeah, we came there a couple times. I can't do it because I can't get through the music." This was way back, way back. And I was like, it's fine." But I think it was the early days of what's my man's name? I don't even know his name. Uh, the music man.
Darrell, it's probably Darrell or
Yeah,
Lamont. Okay, Darrell.
actually Lamont. It's Lamont.
Lamont. Okay.
Yeah,
Got you. Got you.
yeah. So that was funny. But I'll never forget that. That's funny.
That's hilarious.
So
Yeah.
at Hill City, again, you mentioned coming from all black school, you know, all black everything is what you stated.
Yeah.
And this church, I don't know what the numbers are, but and what's funny, I should mention, I said we go to Hill City. People that know me are like, are you telling me you go to a church that's like almost all white people? Yeah, yeah, we do. We do. It's a surprise. It's a surprise. But
Yeah.
my wife, I mean, obviously, you know my wife and my youngest daughter are very much involved. My wife serves, my youngest serves, well, before
Yeah.
she went to college. So they are definitely involved. And you know my youngest because she was with the youth ministry and you're the youth pastor. You
Yep.
can
Shout out to
speak on
Jada.
you can speak on her real quick. We'll make it brief though. You ain't got to say much.
Listen, man, love Jada, man, love Jada. It was funny because, like, because she wasn't coming at first, and she was like, and we did a video called 96 and Later, where we got opinions and perspectives from Gen Z, and she was part of our little documentary, the video, and she was saying, I didn't come to youth group because I thought that I had to know everything about the Bible and I had to, be able to spit scriptures and things like that. And when she came, it was a completely different experience. So yeah, man, definitely got to know Jada for about, I would say, a year and a half, 2 years. Super smart. She's at Cornell right now, like killing the game. You know what I'm saying? Super fast. She dusted me in track, but don't tell nobody. Don't tell nobody. Just an amazing and just an amazing individual all around, man. Love Jada. Love her.
Appreciate it. We appreciate it. Yeah, my wife and I probably shouldn't say this. My wife and I say that we feel like we did a good job with our kids, but if it's something that we didn't push on them that we maybe should have steered them more towards, it would be church. Even though we went to church,
Right.
but it wasn't like for me, well, probably for my siblings, I should say, church was at least 3 times a week. At least 3 times a week.
Yes.
For me, it was more one or two as a kid, but
Oh wow. Okay.
it was church and it was music. What music? God, the only the only song I remember hearing in my household outside of gospel, probably for until I was maybe 13, 14,
Yeah.
the only person I should say was Johnny Mathis. It was a Christmas record. That's it. There was no secular anything, bro. Like none of that. Straight gospel.
Hey, I'm the same way, bro. I grew up in a very Christian household, like no secular music. Like secular music's the devil. I know exactly what you mean, bro. Like, oh
Yeah.
my goodness.
Hey, that's real. That's real. And that actually brings me to you as a hip hop, not even as a hip hop artist, because you're considered a Christian hip hop artist. Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, so before we talk about you actually as an artist, music in general, like I just mentioned, no secular music, but I know you listen to whatever, you listen to everything.
Yeah, for sure.
How does one kind of walk the line of being comfortable listening to everything? And I think, honestly, to be honest, I think white people have done this forever. I think it's black people that have just like
Forever,
black people like
bro.
you, Satan. No, Satan cannot be in this house. But
Bro,
how do
I was
you
just
like
son.
balance that?
Man, great question. So I was just talking to somebody about this. So you're right. I felt like if you were introduced to Christianity as a white person, it was a way different kind of Christianity than how me and you were introduced to it. Like the rules were crazy about what we couldn't do. Like you couldn't do nothing if you were a black Christian, right? Just growing
Right.
up in church, like everything was simple. But then you like have these experiences and like you come to like, with your white friends, and it seems like they do everything. Like there are no rules with them, right? So it's funny because I always balance it out with the Bible talks about how it's what comes out of us that defiles us and not what goes in. And like I can listen to music, I can listen to the beats, listen to the lyrics, and be like, oh, that lyric's not really for me, I'm not really feeling this, boom boom boom. But it's like it's not like as far as like doing anything for me, as far as like my spirit or my soul, it doesn't move me in any way. It doesn't have any kind of hold on me. Like if someone said, yo, you can't listen to secular music for a month, like I wouldn't really trip. I'm like, all right, cool, I'm not tripping. But like when I listen to like gospel music or like Christian rap or anything that glorifies and edifies Jesus, like that touches my soul. Like that is something that my soul bears with, and I'm like, oh man, this is so good, and like I let that change me, inform me, and I let that really sink in, right? So for me, that's the difference. And like, I'm not worshiping these secular musical artists, but I am enjoying their art. You know what I'm saying? Bible also talks about how all things are permissible, but everything's not beneficial. So it's not a sin to listen to secular music. It's not a sin to listen to people that don't explicitly talk about Jesus. Now, for me, it is difficult for me to listen to like a Meg the Stallion or like like artists like that because like that stuff's just vulgar, like that's just ungodly. So like I can't really get down like that. But like like I'm listening to like like a Jada Kiss, I'm listening to like a Talib Kweli, I'm listening to like these lyricists. I'm listening to Kanye even before Kanye got saved. But again, like it's more, and that works for me. I'm not saying that that could work for everybody, but for me and my salvation, you know what I'm saying? Like I can listen to it because I know it doesn't have a hold on me, and it's not something that I'm acting out after I listen to it. But it's more so like gospel music and Christian music. Like that's the stuff that like I really like listen to and think about the lyrics, and then the lyrics resonate. And now I'm in a whole worship mode, and I got a whole praise break happening in my house. You know what I'm saying? Just from a song that I listen to. So you know, people have different ideas of what secular and gospel is, or if it's okay to listen to secular music or if it's not. And I'm not mad at you. Like listening to a rap song won't keep you out of heaven. You know what I'm saying? So we can't judge somebody's salvation because they listen to a Lil Nas X record, right? Or because they like Jay Z. So I'm not mad at people that don't listen to secular music and they feel like I just want to keep it Jesus all the time. Cool, that's what's up. But I think you'd be doing yourself a disservice to the great art that is out there, and doing yourself a disservice to, especially if you're in my position as a youth pastor, you got to know what's hot. You got to know what's relative. You got to know what the kids are listening to if you want to be influential and you want to be impactful in your ministry. So yeah, there's multiple reasons why I listen to it, and then me as an artist as well too. I want to know what's current. I want to know what everybody's vibing to. One or some reasons is to do totally opposite of it because I'm not necessarily a trend follower. But then also just to see, like I said, like see what the kids is liking and what the kids is listening to. So,
Your quick observation or your quick thoughts on Donda. I know you've listened to
ooh,
Donda.
listen, I just did I did a podcast last night and did a whole 20-minute review on Donda. Shout out to
Okay.
the Tastemakers podcast. So Donda I didn't like it for the music, but I liked it for everything else.
Mm,
Because, we've listened to Kanye since College Dropout, and we've wanted that Kanye for a while. But ever since Yeezus, he hasn't been that Kanye. So from Yeezus on, he's been the Kanye that he is now, right? And some people like it, which is fine. I think his production's gotten better. I think that he's chosen to take more risk and he's more polarizing since then. But I gave the album a 6 out of 10, because like I felt like his features were better than him on the album,
mm,
and I felt like he didn't rap that much. Like I want to hear Kanye rap. I want to hear Kanye talk about the Louis Vuitton Don and like, like I want to hear Kanye like from College Dropout until what My Beautiful Dark Twisted Fantasy, right? Like I like that Kanye, but that Kanye is probably not coming back. But on the other hand, I love the album for what it's doing for Christians who want to be creative in their art and unapologetically Christian as well too. So I like it for that reason, and I like how he has he has these like hardcore gangster rappers, and like even some mumble rappers on his tracks talking about Jesus. So I like that too. So Kanye is absolutely necessary for the culture, even with all his antics and with all his craziness that he has going on. But he's still necessary. Like we need Kanye, and like we're gonna miss him when he's gone. That's a fact.
I do. I gotta say, I do miss the old Kanye. I have to
We all
say.
do. We all do.
Um, so briefly, you don't have any reservations about Kanye and the craziness, or do you just put that to the side and value Kanye for what he brings to you?
Now, when we say his craziness, are we, because he's got a lot of craziness. Which craziness are we talking about?
I'm kind of specifically on the 45
Okay.
slavery was a choice type
Yeah.
vibe.
Yeah. Yeah, man, it's tough. See, this is where I'm probably hypocritical at because we'll cancel people quick. We canceled Chrisette Michelle for doing stuff in 45 as far as musically, like, singing at his inauguration. But you got Kanye endorsed the man publicly, went to the White House, all that kind of stuff until he didn't. He was like, I'm not doing it anymore. I've been used. And people were like, duh, we was trying to tell you this. So I get your point. I totally feel what you're saying. And I don't know why I have no good reason why I can excuse that now, and I can't excuse, Lil Wayne doing the same thing, or I can't excuse, we're definitely not excusing R. Kelly,
Oh yeah,
but I
clearly.
can't. But like, there's other people musically who we let get away with stuff, and then there's people who we don't. You know what I'm saying? So, hey, I fall short in that area because I don't know why. I just like Kanye.
You're not alone. It's a lot of people like that. And to be honest, there was a lot of people that were the same way with R. Kelly just a few years ago. And they were like, I don't care. I ain't trying to hear it. I'm a flirt his own. I don't care what
Right,
y'all talk about. So
right.
straight to the music. I guess it might be partially based on quality of music too. You know,
Very true. No,
'cause,
no, you're absolutely right. It's easier to forgive people as long as they keep making hits.
yeah, yeah.
It's
Oh
sad, but
man.
it's true.
So let's talk about your music since we're on the music.
Let's go.
What's on the horizon and how did we end up in the rap world altogether?
Yeah. So for those of y'all who don't know me, my rap name is and happened in ninth grade. I was challenged by somebody who asked me, who I'm sorry, they didn't ask me. They told me that they could beat me in a rap battle. Now, I had never rapped in my life, ain't spit no poetry, could barely talk. Okay. But just the fact that this dude challenged me, you know what I'm saying? My pride wouldn't let me not take this challenge, right? So I went home, got my brother to write me a rap because he was more my brother was far more cool than I was. So I was like, yo, this dude challenged me. Look, write me a rap. I need to go back tomorrow and battle this dude. So we had a battle. You heard me? And we was out there in ninth grade. I'll never forget it, at the place where our parents pick us up. So it's private school. So we didn't have school buses. So your parents come pick you up. So we
Right.
were in the area where your parents pick you up at. And we had a rap battle and I won. So ever since then, I was like, all right, people are looking at me now. Like I got a little popularity. Let me keep on with this rap thing. So that was the only rhyme that I didn't write in my whole entire career. It was that first one, that rap battle. But ever since then, I just really was like, yo, I think I really could do this. So from ninth grade, we start doing concerts at school, and then that led to doing concerts at church, and then that led to me going to Virginia State and opening up for like Nicki Minaj and the Clips, and like artists like that for homecoming. And it just kind of just got bigger and bigger and bigger the more the more the older I got. So that was cool. But I think I was always a Christian rapper. I was never a quote unquote secular rapper. And for me, it was more so like, yo, well, at least I thought I was cool. So I said, yo, I'm pretty cool. Like, why do I have to talk about this, and this in order, for it to be dope?
Right.
So I always had faith that I was dope enough, no matter if I was saying Jesus or talking about cash and cars or girls. And because I was grew up in that Christian household, like I had no choice but to talk about Jesus. My parents was not supporting nothing unless it was Christian. But eventually, like that seed that they planted, like I really wanted to be a real Christian, right? And I really wanted to live this lifestyle and things like that. So it kind of just transitioned from growing up in a Christian household to being my own Christian on my own, and then you hear that in the music and things like that. So yeah, that's how I got started rapping, and since then I've had like 7 albums. We've toured all over the East Coast. It's really like a part-time job. Well, pre-COVID, it was like a part-time job,
Yeah.
and then COVID happens. Now everything's pretty much down the drain. But shows are starting to come back a little bit. So I've done some concerts. I've done a lot of things musically for other artists as well too, when it comes to writing or helping them out with their situations, with local artists just through the Domination concerts. And yeah, a lot of stuff, man. So music's definitely been a lifeline, and it's a huge part of my life.
Yeah. So you take the Christianity, you bring in the hip hop music,
Yeah,
and what do you get? Domination.
let's go.
Domination. So, as I stated, the largest Christian hip hop uh, concert in Virginia, and you just had was that your third? Well, that was your second,
Third one. Third
third
one.
one. So actually, your third one, a couple months ago, right?
Yep, in July or June. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
How'd you even how to start? I know things start. You probably would on some. Let me do a little rap joint over here. That joint just kept.
Kept getting crazy, right? Nah. So what happened was, man, my shout out to my partner, DJ Quote, me, him, and a guy named Ralph Hodge, who's the pastor at Second Baptist Church over in Chesterfield. Ralph hit me up and was like, "Yo, we need to do something for Christian hip hop here in Richmond. There's nothing going on here." And I was kind of the guy who was doing the most stuff in Richmond, but still wasn't doing enough to where it was getting looks. So me being that person, I was like, cool, let's make it happen. How much money we got? Because everything costs money.
Absolutely, absolutely.
So he was like, all right, I got this much money. How many artists can we get? I said, all right, cool. We can get about 3 artists with that much money, and then I can bring some local artists in, and we can make it a joint. So we did it. Ended up being 600 people coming out, and I was like, hold on, we're on to something. This could happen like every year. So after the first Domination, um we had because Ralph put up all the money from the show, he got all the money back from the proceeds from the concert, which is totally fine, totally cool, right?
Right.
So but the next year I'm thinking, yeah, we could do this ourselves too, like what's up? So me and Quote were talking, and I'm talking to Quote, and he's like, yo, let's do this. And then at that time I had just got to Hill City, so John had hit me up. I mean, it was like, hey, we want to partner with you guys and be a sponsor for Domination. So boom, we get a certain amount of money from Hill City to throw Domination. And then one of my angel investors, who's been watching me for a minute now, she pops in the picture and she's like, "Hey, I love what you're doing for the youth. I want to help." And she throws in a little money. You know what I mean? So, and then we get just different small businesses to sponsor and things like that. So now we end up with a good sum of money where we can bring in some good name artists. You feel
Mhm.
me? So the second year was even better than the first year as far as artist wise, and we did it at Hill City. It went super well, and I was like, "Yo, this is the thing. We're going to do this annually every year." And the vision is that you have a certain amount, like 5 or more artists. We always have 5 or more artists. And when you have that many artists, it's a can't miss show because you don't know. Well, actually, you do know. You're in this market for Richmond, Virginia. It's highly unlikely that you'll get a Christian hip hop show with 5 national artists. It just
True.
doesn't happen, right? Just because of the market and a lot of other stuff surrounding that. But I was like, man, if we make Richmond a destination for Christian hip hop, then we can change the narrative of what people think about Richmond when it comes to Christian hip hop. So I started networking with different promoters and networking with different artists, and they felt my vision. And then this year, it really all culminated when we had like an amazing lineup of artists. And this show was probably the best show that we've done within the 3 years. Matter of fact, the second year we had your man Swift was there. Swift came out.
Cousin.
Uh, yeah, yeah. So yeah, man, it's just like the artists been showing love, the community's been showing love. We were on the news, we've been on some Christian hip hop media outlets, and the word's starting to get out about Richmond. So it's a good feeling, man. It's a good feeling.
That's dope. That's dope. I know you're already planning ahead for next year too, huh?
You already know. You already
Actually,
know.
actually, the I mentioned the RVA Music Collective, and I feel like, well, probably obvious that domination had something to do with your ability to garner that look.
Oh yeah, 100%. So coming out of junior year in college, I had to do an internship at Radio One over there with 92.1, 104.7, and Kiss FM, right? So during my first year of my internship, Sheila Bell was transitioning into the station as well too to work on praise. So we were both there in the mornings at like 6 o'clock in the morning, doing our thing. She's training on how to be the DJ, and I'm interning, right? So I meet Sheila, we hit it off. You know what I'm saying? We're both kindred spirits, super cool. And with that, we kind of just form this relationship where every year we reach out to each other when we need stuff. So she does Gospel Music Fest with the Bell every summer. I'm usually a part of that in like some kind of background capacity, like not even
Right.
on stage, but just helping out doing it. And then I'm helping out get her hip hop artists for things like that. So I become her hip hop go to when it comes to Richmond. And Sheila Bell, she's famous all by herself. So I'm just happy that she knows my name. You know what I mean? So with that, we formed this unique partnership where we just help each other out when it's needed. So about a couple months ago, she hit me up and was like, "Hey, I'm forming this collective for Richmond artists and for Richmond, entrepreneurs and things like that, mostly for music. And I want you to be the sergeant at arms and the vice president of urban marketing as well too. And it's called RVA Music Collectives." So that's how that came about. And she did come to domination. She did see that it wasn't just me talking, but it was actually like, okay, he brought the truth with him. All right, he brought D1. He brought some of these mainstream gospel hip hop artists, and the crowd was a good crowd because most people can talk, but then you don't have the proof to show that you can draw the people.
True.
So I think that kind of took it over the top when she saw the domination concert and she saw the press that it was getting and things like that. So yeah, we kind of just working together on this. It's still very new, so I'm still trying to find out. All right, what exactly can I do? Can I help other artists out? You know what I'm saying? Can I do this? Boom, boom, boom. So it's still it's public, but we're still trying to work through what our positions mean. But yeah, man, it's gonna be something great once we get it down packed. It's gonna be amazing.
That's dope. That's dope. That's a good look for Richmond in general as well.
One hundred
Like like,
percent.
like I mentioned to you, I Sheila Bell and I went to the same church when I was a kid, when I was really
Yeah.
small. Her dad was the usher that always had the little hard candy. My
Yep.
mom would be like, go ask Brother Bell for a piece of candy. It was
That's
like
funny.
every Sunday, literally.
That's funny.
Yeah, small world, small world.
Yeah, man.
So I can't not ask you about some controversy that kind of happened during last year with the uprisings, protesting, and and you.
Yeah.
So you frequented the Marcus David Peters circle
Yep.
area, and some people didn't really like that. They didn't like that. But then it got worse. When your pastor showed up with you, some people really didn't like that. And they were like, hold on, bro. Like, what? Whose man is this?
Right.
I'm not
Right.
even, you don't even have to get into detail about the actualities of what happened, but did that take you, were you surprised?
Yo, so that whole summer was insane, bro. Just with everything happening, with the height of COVID, with the George Floyd stuff, with the social justice uprising. And it's like we've been in the house all summer pretty much because of COVID. So when you get a chance to voice your opinion and to show your support for something outside of Facebook, but actually publicly do it
Right.
and people see it, that hits different than when you just making a post on Facebook and say Black Lives Matter. So I think it was the culmination of, oh, Corey's really about this. Oh, Corey's black, black. Yeah, I'm black, black. Oh, Corey's protesting. Oh, all right. So I think it was more so a surprising, but it was a welcome surprise to some, and then to some it was a I don't know about that anymore, right? I mean, we had a few conversations, me and some of the people that didn't like it, and I think that was honorable on their part for them not to just assume that oh, he supports this, he supports that, but actually talk to me. So I can appreciate them for taking that step. And then some, they just don't want to talk and they just want to have their assumptions and roll with that. So that's cool too. But that whole entire summer, man, that was a really turning point for me, because I was the guy, although I grew up in black culture, I grew up around black people all day and never really were around white people that much. Um, I was the guy that was like, racism's not that bad. Like racism, like look, Mike. I was the guy that
Okay.
I'm telling you, bro, I was blind, son. I was blind. Like I was the guy that I said, hey man, if you work hard and you go to school and like you're gonna get a job. Your
You were
skills have
not, you
nothing to
were
do with
not,
it.
you were not
I
that guy.
promise you I was. Ask my mama. I promise you I was. So look. So this was my mindset coming into Hill City. Like, nah, these white people don't care. They probably support me, man. And mind you, a lot of them did. Yes, a lot of
Right.
them were with it. But you definitely had that community of people that were not with it at all. And they was like, listen, texting wags, emailing them, listen, yeah, it was wild, bro. That summer was crazy. But shout out to Pastor John, because he always had my back through everything, right? Like he always would support me in it, and would hold me down. If people would say he needs to be fired, he needs to be there. So John always had my back. I'll never forget him that. So salute him for that. But yeah, man, it was real interesting when, especially the night that we got maced by the police for no reason. Because like they told us curfew was 8 o'clock, and we were out there at 7:30. They started macing people for no reason. Oh man! Now me, listen, I'm Mr. Facebook. I'm putting everything on Facebook. So I wrote this whole long thing, went live, told everybody what happened. You know what I'm saying? And just the mixed, the mixed reactions. Some people believe me, some people didn't. You know what I'm saying? It kind of hurt me, but it opened my eyes to a lot. It opened my eyes to a lot going on just in the city, and how much more work that we have to do in order to really be free, right? In order to really breathe in this world. So you live and you learn, man. You live and you learn.
Indeed. I did think it was just over the time from being out there and then seeing the different posts from people. I did find it pretty cool that it was a melting pot of people that were usually out. It was a bunch of white people. It would be, everybody. It was everybody out, usually younger,
Yeah.
because I think that, and not to judge people before you know them, but I think that, I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if a 70-year-old white man or woman is racist. Like,
Right. Right.
I expect you to be racist. So
I
I'm more
get it.
surprised
Right.
if you're not.
Right.
So it's good to see that younger people are kind of, and some are on it for different reasons, whether it's
Yeah.
uh, I won't even say the reasons, but whatever reason they are on it, they're on it, and I appreciate them being vocal. And
Sure.
it takes a lot to stand your ground. It does. It takes a lot to stand your ground,
That's a
especially
fact.
when they got weapons on the other side and they are legally okay. It's okay for them to kind of rough you up a little bit.
Man,
Ain't no
it's
problem.
real. Right. It's real, bro. I learned a lot this summer. Let's just say that. I learned a lot this summer.
I respect it. I respect it. I saw just earlier today there was a mention of the Robert E. Lee statue
Get it out of
and
here.
getting up out of here.
Yes, sir.
You, is this the official? Because I didn't read the story, but
Nah,
I
it
know.
is. So it was in court for a whole year, and now the Supreme Court ruled that it can be taken down. So that's cool because Northam's about to be out of here too,
Yeah.
and they're about and he's the one that initially was like, all right, take it down. So this is like going to be his last act as governor. I feel like what I'm saying, last good thing that he did. But yeah, it's like there's nothing else that can stop it. So now it's just a matter of time of when Stoney wants to take it down.
Mm. I wonder if it's gonna have to be one of them early morning, middle of the night type joints. So
Bro,
you
it's
just
gonna
wake
be
up
at two
and
in the morning. It's gonna be at 2 in the morning. Nobody
surprise.
gonna know. Facts.
Yeah, yeah. Respect though. About time. That's all. I mean, that's all I can say about time.
Yeah.
Oh man. Now, I think we've covered everything except that one love that you have. Well, can I mention your mom?
Yeah, yeah.
So I, I thought it was funny that your mom. Well, you shared this on social media that your
Yeah, yeah.
mom said Jesus. Well, basically, she said Jesus ain't coming back yet because I'm still waiting for you to get married and bring me some grandbabies. That's what
Right.
it is.
Right, right.
Oh, hilarious! I had to put that out there. Shout out to your mom.
Shout out to moms.
So your other love that I was actually going to mention is Ohio State football.
Yes, you
What's
got
that
30
about?
minutes.
What's that about?
Look, so my whole family is from Ohio, right? My dad was in the military, and then I was born in Japan.
Hmm.
So I was born in Japan, then moved to California, then moved to Ohio, then moved to Virginia, and he retired when we were in Virginia. But he was born and raised in Columbus, and so was my mom. Basically, my whole family is still out there in Columbus. So I go back there and visit them probably about twice a year. So I was born into it. I was like, it's in my blood. Like I can't even help it. Like I can't like no other team. Like I have to like Ohio State. It's just like I was predisposed to it. So I've
Fair
been in like
enough.
yeah, yeah. So I've been in like a Ohio State fan since like '98. That's the one I can remember like really getting into it. Like in '98, like trying to watch the game and like remember players and things like that. And I've just been going crazy ever since.
Hmm. And we are the 804 is blessed to have one of the locals,
Yes, sir.
Tavion Henderson, on the squad this year as a freshman.
Yes, sir.
So
Yes,
yeah,
sir.
definitely looking forward to seeing him do big things out at Ohio State.
Yes, sir. Me too. I hope he's good.
Oh yeah, I mean, just in the little bit of tape that I've seen some tape of him just from before the season, obviously before the season started.
Right.
If he hits the hole, it's a problem. That's what it is.
Word.
If he hits the hole,
Okay.
that's where the problem comes in.
Yeah.
So
Ain't no catching him.
yeah, he's out. So we'll see. Hopefully
Word.
that comes to fruition real soon for him though. Oh
Word.
man, like I say, I definitely appreciate you taking the time to jump on with me. Do you have any last words for the people of the Source and Company nation?
Listen,
It's not
man.
really a nation, but you know.
It is a nation. I appreciate it because I watched the show and I was telling Jada, I said, Jada, when your dad gonna have me on, bro? I be trying to get on. Tell your dad put me on the show. He didn't know Jada. She's mad calm. She's like rolled her eyes and laughed, whatever. I was like, so I am honored to finally make my appearance on here. You know what I'm saying? Hopefully it won't be the last one. Hopefully I have some more stuff to talk about later on in the coming years. But super thankful for this, super thankful for the opportunity. Go get my music. Everybody out there, follow me on Instagram, Goss. Music is everywhere that you find digital music under C.GOSS. That's about it, bro. Other than that, I'm good money.
Money. Yeah, I'm gonna let you get to Ohio State as they're about to kick off in a little bit.
Yes, sir.
Ladies and gentlemen, once again, Corey Goss, we appreciate you. Source
Indeed.
out here.